Three massive deals that could really impact Manchester United's season. We're talking Antoine Semenyo, Kobbie Mainoo and Joshua Zirkzee this morning. Manchester United looking to invest in the youth as well. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about everything that was said last night. If you did not see the video last night on Antoine Semenyo, we'll do a little bit of a recap this morning on what Romano said and what every other journalist out there is now saying on Manchester United leading the race for Semenyo. But what do Manchester United have to do to facilitate this move? Is the money already there? Ben Jacobs has alluded to the fact that United can spend money on Semenyo. There is nothing stopping them doing it without selling anybody. Also, Ben Jacobs has also been talking about Manchester United's moves in terms of Kobbie Mainoo, what they're expecting to get for Kobbie Mainoo. This is the first time that we've heard anything in terms of values. We've got one for Zirkzee, we've got one for Mainoo. We'll update you on both of them, including the Semenyo setup as well, and where we're at with that this morning. But I want your live comments and interactions more importantly. This is your chance to have a chat with me in the live comment section over all that news last night on Semenyo, what's happening with Kobbie Mainoo and Joshua Zirkzee, and then we'll get into all of the other news as well, because it is match weekend, everybody. We've got a busy day here on Forever United TV today. 2 rival watches and an update show later on. It's going to be jam-packed, so you're going to see plenty of me, and make sure that you do stick around for all the shows later on. I'll fill you in at the back end of this show as to what's coming up. Also involved in them shows, again, yes, I'm wearing my new Manchester United jacket today. That is being given away to one lucky winner who is in the draw because they have entered our prediction competition. The link is in the live chat now. More on this later as well, but another announcement of 4 other prizes on top of what you can get winning on that sweepstake game, that prediction game as well. Get into the live chat. Get onto that live chat link there. Get in the game. Get your predictions in now. If you are catching up later on, get into the description. It's the top link in the description to enter into our prediction game for the Villa Manchester United game at Villa Park tomorrow. We're going to be covering it on the watch along and playing the game along with watching the game also. Me and James here in the studio. Get involved in that now, everybody. Let's get into the news and let's get on with what is actually happening though, because we had a bombshell dropped on us last night, Manchester United fans indeed, with several different journalists and sources coming out talking about the potential deal for Manchester United to bring Antoine Semenyo to Old Trafford. I said last night in that video, if you haven't already watched it, that obviously there were other teams in, and look, well, we were optimistic that United had a chance and we liked Antoine Semenyo. It looked like other clubs were really looking like they were ahead of Manchester United in the fight. Well, the confusion over the future of Manchester City, and Romano updating us last night on the fact that City have got other wide player targets as well as Antoine Semenyo in their, well, on their shortlist, gave us hope that we could beat Manchester City. The Pep Guardiola saga going on right now with City is an interesting one, and players probably with their agents looking at the future of Manchester City not being completely secure. So then you move across to Spurs. Romano pretty much last night killed off anything of Spurs going in for Semenyo. It's highly unlikely. Okay, right, there's 2 down. What about Liverpool though? Liverpool were always top dogs. Well, apparently, in an interview, Curtis Jones has actually said and come out now that Mo Salah has actually apologised to the rest of the squad. So it looks like Mo Salah is now staying at Liverpool. If he stays at Liverpool, there is no chance that they can buy Semenyo. But also last night, before the Curtis Jones interview news came out, you've also got to look at the fact that what Romano did and confirmed last night, the 10th of January, this deal needs to be over the line and Semenyo needs to be done. And he's still in AFCON, that being Mo Salah. So if Liverpool wanted to get rid of Mo Salah, they're not going to be able to within this deadline. And now we're hearing from Liverpool sources that they have cooled their interest in Semenyo. So all of a sudden, it's all opened up for Manchester United. And now we're top dogs, with Romano actually saying last night that Man United, under Ruben Amorim, are already halfway through negotiations because of what happened in the summer and contact that was made with Semenyo. He's apparently agreed verbally personal terms. That's not going to be a problem. And Ruben Amorim is a massive admirer of him because he can fit in several different positions and play in different systems. That was key in how Manchester United are approaching this deal. So anybody who was unsure whether United were in for Semenyo or this was likely or even had a chance, get excited because Semenyo could be a Man United player in January. The big question is, again, I alluded to it a moment ago there with Ben Jacobs saying that Manchester United can buy Antoine Semenyo without selling anybody. Well, United have made plans to sell not to sell Joshua Zirkzee and Kobbie Mainoo, it would seem. I'm just going to bring you completely up to date on everything that's happening around the Mainoo and Zirkzee situation now as well, because the latest we've got here, and this came from Romano last night also, just to keep you fully updated. Manchester United could facilitate a move for Antoine Semenyo by offloading Joshua Zirkzee either through a permanent sale or loan with an obligation to buy. A meeting took place with ASA Roma in London last week. This is Romano, by the way, so this is definite. Kobbie Mainoo has a strong desire to join Napoli, preferring them over 10 to 12 other clubs. His family also backing the move. Napoli are pushing and making progress on the player side. It's now up to United. Now, this changes everything. And with both players, Zirkzee and Kobbie Mainoo, open to moves away. Now, Corriere dello Sport and a couple of other Italian sources also on top of that have reported that Manchester United have turned down the straight loan offer for Zirkzee. There has to be a permanent element in it for Manchester United to facilitate any move in January. So there's going to be a condition. Roma either come up with the money and Manchester United want 40 million. That's the price that's been set on Joshua Zirkzee. Said they want to recoup every single penny that they paid out for Zirkzee. This is what I mean by football structure. I could go on to a completely different show about this, but making sure that that player has actually progressed in the team and made a mark within 2 years or you're sold. We're here already. 18 months. We've not even got to 2 years for Joshua Zirkzee. So this is really positive from Manchester United's side of things, that we can actually move players on and actually make a big decision like this in the future of a player. Look at what he's done. If it's not good enough, let's not dwell on this. Let's not let that player linger and devalue. Sell, sell, sell. Get him gone quickly, because we need to bring somebody else in. United have to move fast with these players. When you don't pay a lot for players in the first place, you put them on decent wages, they're easier to sell. Not like Sancho, not like Antony, and not like other players like that, where no one's going to buy them because they're on stupid wages and they won't drop their wages. Zirkzee's not on that much, and Manchester United didn't pay that much. If they can get that value for him, then that is a quids-in situation, because United have already paid the majority of Zirkzee's transfer fee by making 2 instalments already. So when they bring that money in for Zirkzee, that is on the books, on PSR side of things, a profit for Manchester United. So that going forward is good news for United. Zirkzee, we know, is up for that move. We know that he wants to move back to Italy. That's been said before. He's obviously happy to stay at United and fight for his place. But like Romano said, this is now down to United. If they've got other players they want to bring in, they're all too happy to move other players out. And the structure and how we've done these deals allows us to actually get this deal over the line, or make this deal happen, you could say. On the Kobbie Mainoo side of things, like Romano says there, important thing that he said, and this looks like it's coming out quite a lot right now, Kobbie Mainoo's family. Yes, I know everyone's got one and they are important to everybody, but it seems to be the trend when it comes to Manchester United academy players leaving at the moment. Their family has got a big say in everything. Marcus Rashford's brother, agent. Garnacho's brother, agent. And obviously Kobbie Mainoo's brother, T-shirt gates, and everything that's going on there. Kobbie Mainoo, again, that saga with Ruben was quashed a bit by Ruben yesterday in the press conference. But we all know behind the scenes there's going to be more talks. Ruben just did his manager's job in that presser yesterday and handled it very well, I thought. But he just played it down, and he's just trying to concentrate on getting wins. Because besides all of this, Ruben's future is also important. And that stays if Manchester United actually win games. So United need to keep on winning games. Ruben's got to concentrate on that. But it looks like United behind the scenes, the management team and the recruitment team are working overtime right now on getting deals done. On top of the Kobbie Mainoo situation, the first time we've heard a price mentioned, and I put a poll up in the chat this morning on this and where we're actually at with it, just to gauge where everyone is. But would you accept 80 million for both Joshua Zirkzee and Kobbie Mainoo? Because Ben Jacobs has come out and said that Manchester United would accept a figure in the region of 40 to 50 million for Kobbie Mainoo to sell him. That's on a permanent. Seems quite cheap for a player that has built himself up in his own mind and his family's mind to be a world beater. But the reality tells us that that's actually probably for a player that's not played a full season, you're buying potential again. And Manchester United could have actually got rid of Garnacho and Mainoo, two of the stars, the billboard sitting down stars. You could have got rid of Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo off that famous picture. I think you all know what I'm talking about from a couple of seasons back. All of them players gone for £120 million. Manchester United valuing Kobbie Mainoo, I think, right there, because he has been consistent, like we've said. And I'm not just saying this because we're getting rid of him and we need to bring other players in. I'm saying that probably is Mainoo's value right now. You can go off potential all you want, but nobody's going to spend upwards of 60 to 70 million on a player that just does not play. And United need to make a decision now. I've said this before. But when January comes to an end, AFCON players are back, and Ruben's not playing Kobbie Mainoo, his value plummets. And it plays into the hands of everyone else coming in to bid for Kobbie Mainoo. Take what you can now, hit the ballpark, hit that sort of round figure in the middle, and look at the potential of signing Antoine Semenyo coming the other way as a real positive. Because like Ben Jacobs also said yesterday, the Semenyo deal is aside from the two big midfielders that are also going to be coming in next year. Whether that be January or the summer transfer window, the plan is still the same. And like Andy Mitten said on top of that, just to double down on this, just to give you the actual research and context to it, Andy Mitten says, yes, money is tight for United, but this first year of the new financial fair play rules has given Manchester United a huge opportunity going into this next season. And this summer is going to be massive. They have the flexibility and the financial room to make these big signings. If United are selling the likes of Zirkzee and Mainoo for 80 million quid, it's all going to help Manchester United on the books. We know that Rasmus Højlund is sold. There's more news coming out this morning on Marcus Rashford being a permanent signing for Barcelona now if he accepts that lower wage bill. Again, coming back off what we said yesterday from Spanish reports. So that's 26 million for Marcus Rashford, 38 million for Rasmus Højlund, 40 million for Joshua Zirkzee, 40 million for Kobbie Mainoo. Just keep adding it up and adding it up. And Manchester United are looking good. Obviously, we've got to get that money. And I'm just throwing figures out there at the moment because that's what's being talked about. Of course, it might be less, it might be more. But when you look at that, you look at the amount of pure profit that's involved in that as well. £80 million worth, sorry, £66 million worth from Marcus Rashford and Kobbie Mainoo. Throw in Mason Greenwood on top with Manchester United's sell-on clause on top of that. You could be looking at over £100 million worth of pure profit, aside from Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund being sold. And then obviously you're getting rid of the wages on top of all of them players as well, with the new structure coming in on a well-balanced wage basis, not overpaying for players. You can see how Manchester United feel comfortable and confident at getting deals done. Like Romano said, after all of that, the financial side of Manchester United affording these players is easy and they can do it. It's up to the player. And I think with Semenyo in particular now, getting this player in, has come down to Manchester United actually convincing him, talking to him again. Obviously, United have contacted Bournemouth as well now, so they know there is full club-to-club talks. Romano said last night that this deal will happen. In fact, if you did not see what Romano said last night, let's just bring up quickly what Romano actually said on the Semenyo saga and what's actually going to happen in general.
Antoine Semenyo, the release clause, £65 million, is gonna be valid until the beginning of January. Around, is not official, is a private document, but sources say around 10th of January. A January move is expected to happen.
That was what I played last night in the video when we was updating everybody on Semenyo. As the deal happens, it is likely to happen. There is that private contract in place up until the 10th, rumoured, like Romano said, but by what sources are saying, and he wouldn't come out and say it on his own video if it wasn't anywhere near the truth. Within the first couple of weeks, let's just round it up, of January, this deal has to be over the line for Bournemouth to even sanction it. So that's what's happened. That's why United have an advantage. City are still uncertain as to which winger to go for. United have moved into pole position through contact with Bournemouth and Semenyo himself and his representatives. this news last night coming out about United being favourites was because of what Romano said, because the rumours of him agreeing personal terms. He also has personal terms agreed for City, Liverpool and Man United altogether, is one report also. Spurs out of it. But Liverpool cannot bring him in without moving Mo Salah on. And Mo Salah's new contract and him now apologising, it looking like the waters have calmed at Liverpool, takes them away from it. And like I said last night, every Liverpool source now is also talking like interest has cooled. Their priority is Mark Guehi. I don't want to sound like I'm just throwing everything at you at once as well, but Manchester United are really pushing for Mark Guehi also, according to news last night. It's a lot to take and it's a lot to get through. And I'm just going to open it up to the live chat now as well, because I've said enough there and I've pretty much broken down everything that's going on from last night. We've got a lot to discuss and a lot to talk about, and I've not given you your chance yet. So I'm guessing there is an awful lot of conversation going on in the live chat here this morning. So get your thoughts in on this, everybody, on everything. I feel like it is positive myself. I really do think that Manchester United are looking like they are moving in the right direction here. We have got updates on the Sheffield Wednesday defender as well coming up, who United have apparently already put a bid in for ahead of Liverpool. So United beating rivals to potentially 2 players here this January. We'll see. I'll get that in a minute. Good morning, Adam and FUTV gang. I'm 51 today. Paul, happy birthday, mate, and happy membership renewal at 15 months a member here on Forever United TV. Absolutely buzzing with that, mate. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope the Reds do the job for you tomorrow to celebrate your birthday weekend, my friend. Absolutely love that, mate, and thank you again for being a member here on Forever United TV. A couple of more comments coming in and then around the Zirkzee situation. Man United need to keep Zirkzee and Mainoo. Man United need to sell Bruno, Mount, Agate, Maguire, Shaw, Delo. Man United need to sack Ruben Amorim. I completely disagree with the majority of that. Definitely in the Mount and Bruno one over Mainoo and Zirkzee. Are you off your rocker, mates? Come on now. You cannot be thinking that Zirkzee and Mainoo are better than Mount and Bruno. Seriously? No. No, let's not even go there. In terms of a lot of people in the chat asking me about the jacket, if you have just tuned in, this is courtesy of OK Jerseys. I'm going to be giving one of these away free tomorrow to somebody who's entered our game, our prediction game on Big Up. That link is in the live chat and top link in the description, everybody. Also in the description is the link to OK Jerseys a little bit further down. If you look that up, that link there will take you straight through to the store where you can purchase this top yourself. It is the latest one out there. And like I said, I'm giving this away along with 4 other shirts and jerseys or whatever you want to pick. I'll show you more later on as we go through the day. But 5 giveaways on the watch along tomorrow, and you can also win big in our sweepstake in the prediction game as well. If you wanted to add a little bit of jeopardy to it, that option is there for you to put a bit of money in and win big also. I think the prize pot is upwards of nearly $1,000 now on the game tomorrow. So yeah, if you want to join that for as little as, I think it's about 60p or something like that, you can do. It's completely up to you, or you can play the game for free and be with a chance of winning this mint top anyway. Mint is slang, Mancunian slang for great, by the way, if you are watching from further afield and don't know the Mancunian tongue. Al says, Man City are interested in Jan Diamande. He is potentially world class. If they buy Diamande, that means Semenyo is available. Semenyo's available anyway for Manchester United. He's always been available for United. It just depends where he wants to go. And I think he's already said, if he's agreed personal terms with a few teams, he's happy to go to United. It's just down to someone coming in and flashing that cash at Bournemouth and saying, we're doing this deal and we're going to do it on their terms. You have to do it on Bournemouth's terms. And that is in the first 10 days of January. So that's key in all of this. I've heard a few players say that they do look out for managers moving because they can just become redundant. Wouldn't want to be over there before Maresca. In terms of the Semenyo situation, Greg's talking there. On the City side of things, you're looking there at the uncertainty of Pep Guardiola's future. Would you want to go to City if there's no Pep? David Ornstein has been talking about Pep leaving Man City and Maresca being the next man in charge. That's David Ornstein of The Athletic. I'm not just making this up. I do the research and listen and read to what people say, and Ornstein was the one that said this. There is real thought at Manchester City that Pep's going to be gone after this season. Maybe it's before the 115 charges. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. Of course, you can all have your own opinions on why Pep might leave. Is it because he cannot make another team? He hasn't got the Fergie in him, has he? Going through decades. No. He's had a good try there at City, though. I'll give him that. It's a good stint and probably the longest-serving manager that we're ever going to get in the modern era of football, really. But still, that is a bonus for United that he might be leaving, because it does add it adds that uncertainty to the future of Manchester City and what's going to go on. And maybe that does put players off. Maybe you look at Manchester United as a player and you see Manchester United making all of these moves, bringing in the right types of players. Look at the excitements, the stadium and everything like this. Do you want to be part of that? Because you will be part of that if you're signing for United at the age of 25. That's what you're looking at. That's what you've got at United. Everything else is set in stone. Everyone else is probably going to be on the decline from this point. And that's what I think is interesting when it comes to when players discuss moves with their agents. If Semenyo gets wind, and Man United might be talking, and I'm sure conversations like this go through the different avenues behind the scene between agents and clubs and players and representatives, that Man United are selling Mainoo and Zirkzee. The room is there for Semenyo to step in. United are looking at playing him constantly in the team in different positions like he does now for Bournemouth. He's played left, he's played right, about an even amount so far this season. He was on the left and he was on the right against Man United. You couldn't really say. They had Semenyo down as left wing for Bournemouth on Monday night, and he scored his goal from the right wing. We all seen it. So he's versatile, can play all over the front line. I think Ruben Amorim and what Romano said there was the key part in United's approach for Semenyo was that he is versatile in different systems. Now, for Romano to come out with that's extra detail from United in terms of why Ruben was going in. So he talked about Manchester City having 2 targets. In fact, do you know what? I'll tell you exactly what Fabrizio Romano said about all of the clubs involved in the Semenyo chase, and then you tell me what you think of where Manchester United stand in the Semenyo chase. Here's what Romano said last night on each club being involved in the Semenyo transfer.
Liverpool have not made official contact with Bournemouth or with his camp to start negotiations. Just a call in November to understand the structure of the release clause. Tottenham have been interested, but in this moment, what I can tell you is that after the last 2-3 days, at the moment, Tottenham are not advancing on this topic for Semenyo. United and Man City both called for Antoine Semenyo. I can confirm that. So United are in the race, eventually to have Semenyo to play in different positions, can play in the current system for Ruben Amorim, or eventually they can change the system and Semenyo could be still an important player with a different kind of tactical approach. And then there is Manchester City looking for a winger in 2026. Semenyo is not the only name on their shortlist. Amorim is a big fan of Antoine Semenyo. So City and United fully involved. Liverpool made a call in November. Tottenham liked the player, but at the moment the deal is still not advancing.
You can easily see why I feel confident and why a lot of Man United fans would feel confident about Semenyo after what Romano said there. Like I said just before the clip there, it's clear that Romano had extra detail on Manchester United's approach than everybody else's. Liverpool only made contact in November to find out the conditions, but have not approached Bournemouth. Tottenham are not in the race, pretty much is what I take from that. And both Manchester clubs have contacted Bournemouth for the conditions of Antoine Semenyo this week. So it's Man United and City. They're the big two, and they're the ones that are fighting for Semenyo. So when you look at what Romano says there, City have other targets. They contacted Bournemouth but have other targets. Manchester United love Semenyo. Amorim loves Semenyo. He plays in different positions, in different systems. Take the detail from what Romano said and look at how much more there is on Man United than there is Manchester City. It's what Romano does. You can tell by the way he talks, and if you watch his videos, you can see the detail in things that he says to certain clubs and use that as a guide to where he thinks the best chance of player is going. He will not ever say at this stage, because the transfer window isn't open yet, and he doesn't want to blow the box open because he needs more content to bring out in January. That's pretty much what he does. He teases us in. United now in pole position because Ruben Amorim wants him in. United have made a decision, it seems, from what Romano has also said in the same video about Zirkzee and Kobbie Mainoo. And Man United are selling them players. They're gone. They're open to selling both Mainoo and Zirkzee. And Semenyo would be a summer target. And United are only going to buy players in January that are long-term future transfer targets for the football club. Semenyo is. We've been looking at him for over 8 months now and talking to the player in that time. Obviously, we did it in the summer, and obviously it's gone quite well. The season's being played out, but obviously contacts are still there. And as soon as we found out about the Bournemouth clause, let's just call it, of releasing Semenyo in the first 10 days of January, it's gone crazy. Now, Liverpool came straight in because they were thinking with the Mo Salah saga and everything that was it, end of days. That's all calmed, and they're not even in talks with Bournemouth right now. Tottenham are out. Man United and City have made full contact, and United want Semenyo, and have already done work in the summer in speaking to his reps, the player, and now they've contacted Bournemouth. It looks like it's all set up for Manchester United pretty much here. And this is where we are now moving forward with this transfer. And this is why I'm probably confident that United are going to get this deal done. I mean, I feel it. I mean, I've also put a poll up in the chat here as well. Would you accept 80 million for Zirkzee and Mainoo? 72% of you right now have said yes, I would accept 80 million for both of them players. It kind of shows you where a lot of United fans are at with what they think value-wise of our players. And, of course, if you want them in the football club in the first place, to accept that deal is you saying that you're happy for them players to leave as well. And the majority, vast majority of people in the room right now are saying, see you later to both. Skoda says, this is ridiculous. We have a huge issue in the central midfield and we are buying a winger. Again, though, like I've said many times, when your midfield target is not there, you're not going to buy him. You're not going to waste your money. Is there a summer target there that isn't going to get in the way of buying midfield targets that we want because we are prioritising the right players? Well, there is one there, and that's Semenyo. And if United can get him now, they're going to buy him. As simple as that. It's not like we're prioritising a wide attacking player ahead of the central midfield. It's not ridiculous. It's sensible. The opportunity is there, and United are taking it. He can play all over the front line and in midfield. So if Ruben wants to play a 4-3-3, he could perhaps play Semenyo in that three in the middle and still have his forwards up there. That's what you've got when you've got a back four, because the security is also there with extra defenders. This is where the game changes, and this is when Ruben starts to talk about systems. In a 4-3-3, it isn't a basic 4-3-3. The players move constantly. It's like a rocking boat effect, where the wing-backs or full-backs push forward on each side when the play is on that side, and then it moves across back the other side. There's so many different ways, and we could do another full video on the formation and the system on its own. But what you need right now is players that have the quality in their game to make that system work. And I'm sorry, if you've got Mbeumo, Cunha and Semenyo supporting Benjamin Sesko in a way, then it's going to make Benjamin Sesko a better player as well. And I feel like this is where Manchester United's thinking is. It's thinking in like bringing in these Prem-proven quality plug-and-play players that have all got different attributes to their game that can help the younger players that we invest in from maybe overseas, like a Benjamin Sesko, giving them the confidence, because the reliance on Benjamin Sesko scoring goals this season isn't there as much. He's got 2 goals. And Manchester United are second leading goal scorers in the Premier League this season. Benjamin Sesko's missed near enough half of the season in terms of starts. And we spent 70 million, 66, near 70 million on Sesko. And he's not really the man that we're looking at to score our goals. Crazy, isn't it, when you spend that much on a number 9 and you're not reliant on him scoring? But the benefit that United have got in other attacking players in different positions in this team is only going to help players like Sesko adapt and take the pressure off a little bit. And that, I think, is key in United's planning and thinking as well. Because we do need to spread goals around, and we are doing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens without Mbeumo and obviously Ahmad now over the next few weeks, though, because they have been big contributors to Manchester United's creation side of things in goals and assists this season as well. So that's going to be a big miss for United, because that them two alone, with what they have brought us on that right-hand side, has terrified defences this season. I don't know which way he's going to go with it and who's going to play there now, but I think this is why the system's going to change, because we can't. He hasn't got the players to do it. So if Semenyo comes in, maybe he could play it again a little bit in a way. I mean, you tell me where you think Semenyo would play in this Man United side. Get your thoughts into the comment section, everybody. We've got a super chat come in from Roz, who says, do you think Semenyo will play much wing-back for United? If not wing-back, where do you think he will get the most time on the pitch? Pretty much asking my question there. I wish they looked at the super chat before I asked it back anyway. But Roz, on that one, I think he is fully adaptable. If you look at his average positions over the last 2 years, Antoine Semenyo has played left midfield, right midfield, left attack, right attack and centre forward, and sometimes even in that number 10 role as well. Fully versatile. And I'm telling you right now, watching Semenyo from the stands on Monday night, he was everywhere. All over that front line. He doesn't stay in one position. Yes, you have to obviously handle that, harness that, and there is a plan, but I wouldn't see Iraola and the tactical nous that he has got just allowing Semenyo to have a free role and him not really understand what he wants from him. Semenyo knows exactly what he's doing. He's very intelligent, and Iraola has maximised the most out of that. Ruben sees it. Ruben knows what this player would bring to Manchester United, and it is completely different to anything else that we've got in this team, which, like I've said in previous videos before, falls in line with what Jason Wilcox was saying. They need to want to come to Manchester United, and they need to bring a character and something different. What does he do in all of them cases? Well, he clearly is happy to come to United. He's already apparently agreed verbal terms with the club. Does he bring something different? My God, yes, he does. The pace and power of Semenyo is not there in any other player in our side. What he does and what he brings is different to a Cunha and an Mbeumo or an Ahmad or a Benjamin Sesko. It's completely different. It's that raw power of a player that can carry a ball the whole length of the pitch, holding 2 or 3 players off because of his sheer speed and brute force and strength. The other players that are in them positions I love at United, but we do need to have different types of players. We've got very, very similar players in there. We've got Atit, Abel, good technician players in Mount and Mbeumo and Cunha. To have someone in there with that raw pace, power and direct attacking style that Semenyo's got would be massive for Manchester United. And it's just another option there for us. It's another type of player that United can really utilise in multiple systems like the other players. Lawrence says, I think Ruben will still play 3-4-3 on Sunday, drop Mainoo back and give Dalot orders to protect the left or right flank. Dorgu to Kobbie's being sold. After all, Agate in with Bruno. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. There's a lot of people talking, journalists as well, about Manchester United going with the back 4 again. That's something we'll have to wait and see. He did play back 4, by the way, against Bournemouth. There's a very good chance that he could do it against Aston Villa as well. I don't want Semenyo to join because that's another player will ruin, then the fans will scapegoat. No, it won't, because the players that he's brought in them positions, like Cunha, like Mbeumo, are the ones we're solely relying on right now. And let's not forget what he's done to Ahmad compared to what Ten Hag did to him as well. So no precedent for that at all, mates. And obviously, Johnny, there will be no scapegoat on that. Semenyo is a player, I think, that comes straight into this side and adapts instantly because he's got that proven ability in the Premier League already. And again, I can't understand how people would think that Semenyo is going to be ruined by Ruben Amorim. Like, the attacking side of our game this season is 20 times better than it was last season. And players in them areas are really prospering. Cunha and Mbeumo, Ahmad. You could even say Bruno's still getting numbers from a bleeding 6. Sesko obviously needs time. I don't think Semenyo would be a problem. I absolutely would take Semenyo, central midfield or not. His attitude and backstory for me show he has a real mental state to cope at United. Great points from Cal there. Look, I'm not saying that Man United need to be prioritising Semenyo here. And anybody who says they're not happy with the deal because we want a midfielder, I get you where, and I do get where you're coming from. I do. But United cannot turn down an opportunity of Semenyo. In particular, if the likes of Mainoo and Zirkzee are going to be sold either in January or the summer transfer window, Semenyo is an out-and-out replacement straight away for squad depth for this club when we get back into Europe. He will help United this season get back into Europe as well. That's the key. To have that extra little bit of something else up front, another option for United this season. Honestly, if you're subbing off Mbeumo for Semenyo or Cunha for Semenyo, Mount for Mbeumo, look, all of these names that we're mentioning here, you know that all of them players are going to do something for you on the pitch. Last season, you were worried about Rashford even being bothered. Garnacho actually finding his feet and not tripping over himself. Rasmus Højlund being able to hold the ball up. The options now, you are confident with all of the players stepping out on the pitch. Even to a certain extent, Benjamin Sesko in what he could do for Manchester United. That gives you more confidence. And when you've got goals on your side, I know we're nowhere near finished article and we're conceding too many goals. But as long as you've got goals, you've always got a chance. And that might just be enough for Manchester United to scrape Europa League or something like that this season. It's not perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect. And Semenyo's not the answer to Manchester United getting Champions League football. But he will definitely give us the best chance of getting Champions League football with what we can actually go out and get in January. Now, Jamie Jackson, just to move it on to the midfield for everybody as well. Aaron will make Semenyo, says Robbie in a super chat. The midfield wanted people in the chats, let's just call them that. I'm one of them as well. We need midfielders. Jamie Jackson of The Guardian has been talking about Manchester United monitoring Conor Gallagher and Ruben Neves again. Conor Gallagher, if he is on loan, will come to Manchester United, I think. I can say that confidently with what's been said. The problem is Atletico don't want to loan him. They want to sell him. And that's always going to be the stumbling block, I'm afraid. I don't see Conor Gallagher or Ruben Neves moving to Man United in January with what's been said. And obviously, situations change and I don't know. Maybe Conor Gallagher tries to force a move away. I think he will come if it's a loan. He won't if it's a permanent deal. United won't buy him. United will not sign anybody or spend money on anybody in midfield unless he's one of the top targets that the club want. If, for instance, Angelo Stiller becomes available in January, that might happen because he is a target for Manchester United. And then we would go and buy one of the other big names in the summer transfer window on top of that. That's where we're at with the midfield section. I don't think Ruben Neves or Conor Gallagher are going to come to Manchester United. I've said this before. Loan for Gallagher, free agents, Neves possibly, maybe. But they are way down Manchester United's priority list for midfielders right now. So that's where we are at with that. Quickly, let's get a few more comments in. I know I've not got to everyone. There's been so much to talk about. By the way, United are interested in Matt Gehi as well. Peter's in the chat as well. Oh, Peter. Adam, if they are bringing in Semenyo, I just hope they don't try and change him in his style of play. We want him for what he does. I mean, I don't think you can. Semenyo is a player that you cannot really change. He is what he is. He is direct, strong, powerful. I mean, he's 6 foot plus, built like an absolute tank, fast, direct, quality in the air. He's got a long throw on him as well. I mean, that man can throw a ball. I mean, Semenyo ends Dalot, doesn't he? Really, in a way, because Dalot's long throw is a weapon. And Dalot's stepping his game up at the moment. Maybe there's a transfer window on the horizon, and he's got to. Because I feel like Dalot will be one of the players that ultimately misses out going into next season when United make their transfers. Because if Semenyo is going to fit into this system somewhere, someone like Dalot, who is seen as one of the more attacking, wider players now, unless Ruben does go back to back four, but then again, Mazraoui steps in at right back every day of the week. Shaw will be left back. So I think Dalot misses out, mate. He really does. Greg says, if buying Gallagher means we can't be in the mix, in the mix for the best possible way in the summer, then leave it. Just focus on the summer. We might be moving to a 4-3-3 in the future. Semenyo, Cunha and Mbeumo behind the 9. Anderson, Baleba behind maybe. Ruben has been asked to listen to the fans in terms of formation. No, he's not been asked to listen to the fans. I think he doesn't listen to the fans or opinions. He just does it his own way. In terms of the formation, he did play a back 4 against Bournemouth. If you watch the game, even Opta came up with it at half-time. The average positional, the average position for certain players in that game and where they played, when moving forward, it was a high line with 4 at the back, which was Dalot, Shaw, Evan, Yoro. The midfield 3 was Mount, Bruno and Casemiro, and in front of them was Ahmad, Mbeumo and Cunha. That was the first half heat map average position for each player in that outfield. It was set up in a 4-3-3. He did play it. There was 4 at the back against Bournemouth, and he can do it again against Villa. I actually think the players we've got available suit the 4-3-3, and he has to do it against Aston Villa. If he tries to play 3 at the back against Villa, then I think we're in trouble because the midfield will be overrun by quality. You cannot go up against Morgan Rogers, Boubacar Kamara, McGinn, or who else am I missing out of that one there? There's one other player that I was just thinking of then. Tillemans as well in there. My God. When you just think about the names of the players that could possibly come into that midfield, the only hope I've got is maybe Lindelof playing at the back for Villa this weekend. You all know how I feel about Victor. Right, I need to get into the other news as well because Manchester United... by the way, Shea Lacey has been training with the first team this week. He will be in the squad for Manchester United this weekend, tomorrow, in fact, against Aston Villa. More talk on the Galatasaray situation with Agati as well, just to bring you up to date with this. And sources coming out from Turkey. Galatasaray have held talks with Manuel Agati's agents and Manchester United. United have already communicated their asking price. No official bid yet, but interest is real from Galatasaray. So the Manuel Agati situation is also developing fast. I don't see how Man United can get rid of Agati in January. Like, seriously, we have run out of players. This is where it becomes impossible to do. I think this would be a summer move anyway. As I don't see Agati going in January. Unless someone comes up with ridiculous money, then United might go out and buy a squad midfielder like Gallagher. I don't know. Look, it's just impossible, I think, to actually get that deal done. We need numbers. Like, we need someone in midfield. I know Casemiro's coming back from suspension soon, but seriously? Come on. Anyway, the news that you would have been seeing about the young kid from Sheffield Wednesday. Liverpool and Manchester United have made offers to Sheffield Wednesday for, and apologies if I say this name wrong, but it looks like Yisa Alao, I think is how you say it. It's A-L-A-O. Aleo, he could say as well. I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. It's thought that both offers came in around mid-level 6-figure mark, and that neither have been accepted as things stand. Whether Liverpool or United come back with improved offers in order to try and twist Wednesday's arm remains to be seen. However, the current interest in Allo isn't likely to go away anytime soon. That was the first bit of news that came out on him. There has been more since, which has been a bit more detailed, which is that Manchester United have actually put in a bid of around 450,000 for the 17-year-old defender. That's been brought up by the Daily Mail, and that was yesterday. So Liverpool and Manchester United in and around the same price, and are both going for him. But United are, according to the sources, likely to be the most advanced and further ahead at the moment. And again, United doing the work behind the scenes with the younger players. He has actually played for the first team. I think he's made 1 championship and 2 Carabao Cup appearances this season as well at age 17. Man United obviously have their own teenager in the ranks of Sheffield Wednesday already in Harry Mass, who is doing well. also. But another move for Manchester United in the right direction in terms of building up a strong academy and bringing in the right types of players. You can see the scouting network and Christopher Vivell working overtime with his people in charge at the academy. And what's going on right now there is a completely different Manchester United. It's got a new look written all over it, this Manchester United recruitment team and academy at the moment. Well done to the under-21s last night. I don't know if you've seen it against Borussia Dortmund. Another one of Manchester United's forwards shining in Gabe Bianchere as well. He is likely to go on loan this January. Being heard that Cardiff are all over. Bianchere, obviously the League One outfit, is where he's come from. He is a Welsh international as well. 2 goals for him last night as well, shining. United have got so much talent in the academy and work going on behind the scenes. I feel quite positive with everything that's gone on this week, to be honest. With everything that's happened, look, you can talk about the sagas and the issues aside, but we can actually see a future past them sagas. That being Mainoo, that being Bruno, whatever you want to say. We can actually see a future past that with Manchester United now. And yeah, we just have to get through this season the best we can. And Ruben handling the Kobbie Mainoo situation the way he did yesterday, I think has gone under the radar of people's opinions. I think he needs a bit of credit for how he actually handled that yesterday. I think Ruben is learning and learning fast. Interesting comment that came out from him. I've been here a year and this is nothing new to me. That was the biggest comment to come out of that press conference yesterday. And that's why I feel quite comfortable and confident at the moment with what's going on in the future of this football club. Because yes, the now is a bit car crash and chaotic, but we can see progression, slow, steady, nothing major yet, and I'm not getting carried away. And then off the pitch, I think the right moves are being made. I really do. And if Kobbie's not up for the fight, Kobbie's not up for the fight. Ruben has played it down. He's not made it an issue between him and the player. And everyone else can talk and do what they want to behind the scenes. But Ruben, I think, handled it perfectly yesterday. And that was one of his best press conferences yesterday. Completely honest and brutal, but in a way that really didn't trip himself up. So a good week so far for United. Obviously, football will determine, and the media, like I said yesterday, will be waiting with their knives, sharpening them as they wait for Ruben Amorim to lose against Villa. And that post-match press conference will be an absolute humdinger tomorrow, because no matter how United perform, if we lose that game tomorrow, they're going to be after Ruben Amorim. Every single one of them are going to be after him. Let's get a few more comments in. Don't forget everyone as well. I can't say don't forget because I've not even told you. Sorry. I'm going over onto Adam FC, our other channel. Please do subscribe to that. The link is in the description as well. And we'll pop it up in the live chats also in a moment. I'm going to be going over there doing my Premier League predictions live this morning. First time I've done them live. So join me over there. You'll be redirected after the show as well. And we'll talk more about what's going to happen this weekend in several games. It's going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Right. Super chat in from Red Devil. Thank you very much. Good morning, Adam. Have been a while since I wrote here. Hope you are good. I think there are midfielders out there to make us better, even if they are not #1 targets. For example, Gallagher on loan or Stiller. I mentioned both, mate, and you are dead right. Thank you again for the super chat. I like Stiller, unproven, and that's my concern in the Prem. That is, and that always gives me concerns. But I trust in the recruitment, and we can't always get Prem-proven players. It's like just going by Prem players. That's going to work. The majority have to be Prem-proven in certain positions, I think, and I think we will add another Premier League midfielder in the summer anyway. So I get you still a shout. And if Gallagher is on loan, 100% with you, mate. Get Gallagher in on loan if you can make that happen. That would be fantastic. If United manage to get Gallagher on loan and buy Semenyo in January, that is absolute blockbuster for us. That would be the best January transfer window we've ever had. Besides signing Bruno Fernandes all them years ago. That would be absolutely awesome. It would. Savage says, our scouts are cooking. They do. Agree, Gallagher makes us better. 25 million for him is cheap as a good centre midfielder, squad player. See, that's it there. Like Carl responding to Red Devil there. Love the community and the chat, everybody. That's what it's all about here on FUTV. But in that conversation that I've just picked up on there, it definitely does work with the news that we were talking about with Manuel Ugarte. If Manuel Ugarte leaves United, like, I can't see it happening. I'm going to be completely clear on that. If he did go and you bought Gallagher, that's okay. But I think you're basically just bringing in another player that's going to be in Man United's squad. You need 2 midfielders on top of Gallagher. Don't get me wrong. That needs to happen. And 2 quality ones who are better than him, which I think will be in the Belaber, Anderson and Wharton category. But what Gallagher does and what Semenyo does is guarantee you getting them other midfielders in the summer, because they will help United get European football. That's the key part in all of this as well. What can you do now to guarantee that the planning of summer actually comes off? It's interesting, isn't it? It is. Look, that pretty much is all of the news this morning, everybody. You're all fantastic. I love you all. Please pop a like on the video. Thank you so much to everybody who has popped a super chat in on there as well. I love that. Semenyo, left wing back. Sorry, I missed that super chat from Robbie earlier on. Thank you, Robbie, mate. Love that. Oh, actually, quickly, before we do get into it, everyone, I just want to pop up on the screen the predictions competition for this weekend against Villa. You'll see the link in the actual description there, everybody. The link there is leading you into the predictions game. Now, the predictions game is all of them on the screen there ahead of Villa. Get involved in our leaderboard. Get involved in our sweepstake on this. You can put wagers on it if you want. You don't have to. It is fully free to play as well if you want. The options are there. Once you make your predictions, the next page will explain everything. But more importantly, we're giving 5 prizes away on top of the money that you could potentially win in the sweepstakes as well. We are doing 5 giveaways courtesy of OK Jerseys. So, do you think Morgan Rogers will score or assist? Cunha score or assist? Bruno score or assist? The match will be level at half-time. There will be more than 4 yellow cards or any cards in that game against Villa. There will be more than 3 goals in that game. Or do you think Benjamin Sesko will score or assist? All you have to do is press yes or no on a minimum of 2 of them, maximum 6. Like you can see on the screen, I have made my 6 predictions there. That there enters you into our leaderboard then, and you are in the draw automatically to then potentially win this top, courtesy of our other sponsor, OK Jerseys, as well. This one is the latest Manchester United jacket. You'll have seen Ruben Amorim wearing this on the sidelines. It is fantastic. The fit is great. It is so comfortable, and it's warm. Man, it is toasty. It's quality, by the way. I love the design, and I love the devil badge rather than the normal badge. Don't get me wrong, I love a badge, but this retro stuff, this sort of like special edition stuff as well, it is brilliant, and you could win it for nothing. Anyone asking about if they wanted to buy their own or maybe get a Christmas present, OK Jerseys link is in the description as well. I'm jumping across to Adam FC now. We're going to be looking at the Premier League games going on this weekend, looking ahead to all of them fixtures. So join me there, everybody. You will be redirected. I'll see you there. Thank you, everybody. I love that this morning. The positivity is riding. Let's see, we're carrying on with that later on. Don't forget, by the way, we have got Rival Watch for the Newcastle-Chelsea game, and then later on as well between Spurs and Liverpool. All coming up today on FUTV. It's going to be a busy